Hello everybody. That's another day from my summer vacation in Siccia, Corinthians, disposing the gigantic 3D chessboard that you saw in the previous episode. Now it's time to go upstairs, because today I have to share something very fascinating with you. Let's set up the board. The subject of today's episode is how to prevail with the Ruy Lopez opening. As you know, Ruy Lopez begins with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then bishop e5. The main line of the opening is knight f6, which aims the pawn on e4. After this move, white should castle because the rook will be able to control the entire e-file. So white gives up a pawn temporarily, and I will show you why. At the fourth move of the game, black plays knight captures e4. This move, however, gives you the opportunity to control the e-file with your rook. That's when the black knight retreats, but now it becomes very interesting. Even though the bishop on b5 is threatened by the black knight, you ignore the threat. You simply capture on e5. Your opponent cannot capture your bishop on b5. If you want to know why, watch my old video, Ruy Lopez Deadly Trap. In this position, black usually plays bishop e7, which is a very popular move in the Ruy Lopez. After this move, the trick doesn't work anymore and your bishop is threatened. One option is to capture the knight, but remember, capturing everything in chess is a characteristic of a beginner. You don't want this. You can elevate your playing style by moving the bishop to f1. If black castles, you open up the center with d4. A move that takes the center, supports the knight, and prevails. Your knight on e5 is perfectly centered on the board. That's why in most cases black takes the knight. You don't take with the pawn, you take with the rook, and you keep controlling the file. Bishop f6 should not intimidate you, as you can simply play rook e1. If black plays rook e8, you don't accept the exchange. The best move here is pawn to c3, building a solid pawn structure. Rook captures e1, queen captures e1, knight f5, an interesting move play by black. Keep the position as simple as possible to maintain your advantage. Bishop c4 is a nice developing move which pins the f-pawn to the king. You just reach the middle game. A good plan is to gradually bring your pieces to the king's side. You can play moves such as bishop f4, knight d2, knight f3, rook d1, and then you can try to make pawn breaks at the center to break the symmetry in order to create passed pawns, which may help you in the endgame. I just showed you the Berlin variation of the Ruy Lopez, specifically the Rio Gambit. If you want to play the Ruy Lopez opening, you should be also aware of other variations, such as the Morphy, the old Steinitz, and the modern Steinitz. Let's analyze them. If black plays the Morphy, you bring your bishop to safety at a4 is the ideal square to maintain the pin, while bishop c4 is an inaccuracy. The knight threatens your pawn, you ignore the threat. Bishop c5 is the most common continuation. c3 gets a free square for your bishop. Knight takes e4, mistake. You don't move your rook as you're going to get forked. Instead, you play d4. You cut off the bishop's diagonal while weakening the e-file for black. After making the exchange, bishop goes back. You are a pawn down, so you attack immediately. You give a check with the rook. Black has a coverage with the knight. After the exchanges, you pin the knight immediately. If your opponent blocks, you punish him with your knight sacrifice. After this tactical strike, black resigns. If black plays the old Steinitz, he automatically gets a bad bishop. You strike into the center with d4. After the exchange, you put pressure on the pinned knight. The opponent loses a tempo trying to defend the knight, and you continue the development. If he moves his knight to f6, just castle as you did in the Morphy defense. A popular approach here is to capture d4. You reply with a check, you recapture, and now you have a very solid position. Last but not least, black may play the modern Steinitz, which is a combination of the Morphy and the old Steinitz. It's my favorite. As previously, you play c3. If black tries to attack e4 with a knight, you play d4 and both are hanging. He can't take anything. He plays bishop e7, and now you start the attack with d5, threatening the pinned minor piece. Black can save it by playing b5. In this occasion, you retreat. Black can play the tricky move knight a5, but you play knight d2, connecting the knights while blocking him. Both sides castle. The only strong move here is bishop d7, where you reply with rook e1. Now the position is equal and slightly in favor of white. You can start attacking the king side to dominate the board and win the game. Thanks for watching.